Recorded Books presents The Custom of the Army by Diana Gabaldon, narrated by Jeff Woodman, and directed by Abigail McHugh.
All things considered, it was probably the fault of the electric-eel. John Gray could, and for a time did, blame the Honourable Caroline Woodford as well. And the surgeon. And certainly that blasted poet. Still, no. It was the eel's fault. The party had been at Lucinda Joffrey's house. Sir Richard was absent. A diplomat of his stature could not have countenanced something so frivolous. Electric eel parties were a mania in London just now, but owing to the scarcity of the creatures, a private party was a rare occasion. Most such parties were held at public theatres, with the fortunate few selected for encounter with the eel summoned on stage, there to be shocked and sent reeling like ninepins for the entertainment of the audience. "The record is 42 at once," Caroline had told him, her eyes wide and shining as she looked up from the creature in its tank. Really? It was one of the most peculiar things he'd seen, though not very striking. Nearly 3 feet long, it had a heavy, squarish body with a blunt head that looked to have been inexpertly moulded out of sculptor's clay, and tiny eyes like dull glass beads. It had little in common with the lashing, lithesome eels of the fish market, and certainly did not seem capable of felling 42 people at once. The thing had no grace at all, save for a small, thin ruffle of a fin that ran the length of its lower body, undulating as a gauze curtain does in the wind. Lord John expressed this observation to the Honourable Caroline, and was accused in consequence of being poetic. "Poetic?" said an amused voice behind him. "Is there no end to our gallant Major's talents?" Lord John turned with an inward grimace and an outward smile, and bowed to Edwin Nichols. "I should not think of trespassing upon your province, Mr. Nichols," he said politely. Nichols wrote execrable verse, mostly upon the subject of love, and was much admired by young women of a certain turn of mind. The Honourable Caroline wasn't one of them. She'd written a very clever parody of his style, though Gray thought Nichols hadn't heard about it. He hoped not. "Oh, don't you?" Nichols raised one honey-coloured brow at him, and glanced briefly but meaningfully at Miss Woodford. His tone was jocular, but his look was not, and Gray wondered just how much Mr. Nichols had had to drink. Nichols was flushed of cheek.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?